Good evening, lesbians, and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I proposed the idea of making a video about all of the known Rainbow High prototypes. I don't know if I'll be able to fit all of them into one video. This may end up being a two-part thing, but I wanted to go over the ones that I deem interesting first, starting with unreleased things that were supposed to happen and did not, or just characters who changed completely throughout the design process. So that's what we're going to be going over in this video. I'll do my best to explain what is known about these prototypes, but if you guys have any information that I do not, feel free to share it in the comments below. So with that said, let us begin. So this is one that I mentioned in my video yesterday that a lot of people seem to be unaware of. This is Krystal Bailey's original design. She originally was going to have around the same skin tone as, I want to say, Skylar. This is a prototype head that xcanadensis, a fellow YouTuber, got her hands on, and this is Krystal's original design. She's missing the makeup, but this is what she was originally going to look like. You can even see it on the back of the box for Series 2. Krystal originally had a much lighter skin tone and was only changed due to backlash because Rainbow High at the time had 0 dark-skinned characters. I believe the designer even said the only reason he made the change was because of backlash, but I think the post was quickly taken down because that's just a weird thing to say. Like, why would you be like, oh, I didn't want to add a dark-skinned character, I only did because people got mad at me for it, and like, be proud of it? That's weird. That's really fucking weird. But yeah, Krystal's original design, this was posted to the Rainbow High Instagram story before Series 2 was officially released, so this was technically not a leak and was officially posted, but yeah, as you guys know, Krystal ended up being released later than the rest of Series 2, the reason for that being the redesign. So yeah, just an interesting little footnote in Rainbow High's history. We almost had a light-skinned Krystal. And I don't know how I completely forgot to mention this, but her name was originally Jet Dawson. I actually don't know why the change was made. All I could think was maybe they decided to reuse the name Jet because they had the idea for the actual Jet later on, but Krystal Bailey definitely suits her better. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about this one. Another very well-known prototype is the original prototype for Jade. She originally had a darker skin tone and looked much closer to the way Karma ended up looking from Series 2. So, some interesting things about Jade. Her jacket seems to have been reused for Amaya, because that jacket really looks like Amaya's to me, especially with the clear sleeves. Her pants also seem to have been reused for Sunny, and the lighter green hair combined with the darker skin tone seems to have been repurposed into Karma. Now, Jade actually features 2 well-known prototypes, this one and the one with the Band-Aid sculpt on her nose. So here's the Band-Aid Jade prototype. I got this image from my friend Maddie Dolls on Instagram, although Google said it was from Facebook, so I guess it's from her Facebook page. But yeah, these are the 2 most well-known Jade prototypes. We've got the darker-skinned one that I believe became Karma later on down the line, although it is interesting to note that Karma has a center part and this doll has Jade's side part on the exact same side. But yeah, we got Band-Aid Jade, who does exist in small quantities. There are like a handful of people I know of who have this prototype. Meanwhile, this darker-skinned prototype has yet to surface online. I don't think anyone owns any sample heads of this doll. Another prototype that surfaced recently is this one for Michelle. It seems like at one point Michelle was supposed to have a prosthetic leg. This sculpt so far has gone unused and most likely will continue to go unused because, to be honest, with the new direction they've taken Rainbow High in, I don't think they're wanting to add diversity like this, but yeah, that just seems to be what they're doing currently. But it looks like at one point Michelle was going to have a prosthetic leg, either that or this was just a test body that Michelle was put onto. We're actually not sure, but the fact that the leg is orange, the same color, that basically the same shade of orange or a very similar one to Michelle's outfit in general, it does seem like it was intended for her. We don't know why this idea was cut, we don't know why it was unused, but this image was found, I want to say, on Taobao, because that's where most Rainbow High prototypes tend to surface. Next, we have some color swap prototypes. So I actually failed to notice this when I mentioned this prototype specifically in my last video, But in addition to Brianna being blue, it seems like Robin used to be a lot more silver. Her shade of blue was very toned down and she appeared to be more of a silvery blue color. And it does seem like the idea to make a silver Robin doll ended up being reused through her sister Aisha. So that's interesting to note. Meanwhile, the blue Brianna does not seem to have ever been reused. I don't think they've made a character with that exact shade of blue. So yeah, we actually have two pictures of this Brianna. So this one is a little harder to see and has a Instagram question box, like photo box thing put over it, as well as a picture of the finalized version of Brianna side by side. But this image does have a bit more of the doll visible because this one's kind of cropped. So yeah. Another color palette swap that exists is this one of Minnie originally being purple. Tiara also features a paler skin tone than what was given to her on her final doll, appearing to be even lighter than Minnie ended up being. So it looks like at one point Royal 3 was intended to be entirely purple. All the characters would have been different shades of purple, but they ended up making Minnie pink on the final doll. I would really like to see a doll prototype of purple Minnie, because it's cool that one exists of the blue Brianna prototype, but it's unknown if there is a purple doll of Minnie floating around somewhere. But yeah, this is actually the first time I've ever seen this image. My friend Sweetsnap on Instagram sent this to me, and I had never seen this prototype prior to right now. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't keep up with the prototype scene enough in the Rainbow High community, but I'm being serious when I say this is the first time I've ever seen this one. Another well-known set of prototype images is this one from the original designs of Series 5. Series 5 was the line that featured Priscilla, Victoria, Kim, all those characters that only featured one outfit, basically. So it looks like Victoria's design was kept pretty much the same, but all these other characters, we have two that ended up going unused, and one that became Priscilla. So in Priscilla's final design, her skin tone was lightened and she had a shorter skirt, but for the most part the design does seem to be pretty much the same. Meanwhile, this lilac character went completely unused, which is probably for the best. I never really liked this design. I always thought it was really boring and kind of ugly even. As for the character on the end with the darker hair, I think that this one may have been turned into Kim. This was originally a kind of a redesign of the 4th of July Rainbow High sketch that never got a doll. This sketch was posted to Rainbow High's Instagram like years ago. People thought it was going to be a new holiday doll similar to Maria Garcia, but all I could think is Maria sold so poorly, probably due to the batshit insane price they were asking, mind you. But I'm thinking that maybe because she sold so poorly, this doll ended up never being made. Because it looks like at one point they were intending to reuse the dress at the very least. So, yeah, I don't know. I would really like to know more about this. I'd really like to know more about why this character was never made. If it was due to Maria selling poorly, I don't know. But, yeah, this is the original versions of Series 5. Priscilla actually has a weird amount of prototypes. Like, this design here, the doll has a different face sculpt for one. But the most interesting, the most standout thing to me is her box art. Because who the fuck is that? Like, look at the box art and then look at the doll. They look nothing alike. Her hair is, wavy. She's got this, kind of ruffled jacket thing that she does not have on the doll. I don't know. Who is that? Because she never wore anything like that on this prototype sketch either. The way the jacket that the artwork is wearing does not resemble the, boa that she has on. Because that's a jacket. That is not a boa, Basically, this one's just strange to me. I had to bring this one up. Priscilla has a lot of prototypes. Another well-known prototype is these early versions of the Rainbow Dream, the band, and prototypes like this, with this articulated body with the jet articulation, which the jet articulation is basically just an additional joint at the ankles and at the torso, so at the chest. Originally, Rainbow Dream, the Sleepover Dolls, Neon Shadow, the Rainbow Divas, and I want to say maybe the Royal Three at one point, but I'm honestly not sure. But at least those first 4 lines were originally supposed to have this additional articulation. At some point down the line, it was cut, but prototype bodies were produced and can still maybe be found in circulation if you're lucky. They were mostly bought by collectors, some by resellers. I remember seeing this Carmen body on eBay for like $100 one time, which was crazy. But yeah, these bodies were at one point circulating on Taobao. I want to say back in 2022, most likely, because that's when they had originally surfaced on AliExpress and such. But yeah, these bodies would have been cool and definitely justified the price these dolls were going for at launch a lot more. It's unfortunate that they ended up not being put into production. So this is a more interesting prototype because this is only visible through artwork, though we have discussed a lot like that. But at one point, the costume ball dolls were supposed to feature 2 outfits. This is an alternative artwork of Eliza wearing her outfit that she wore in the show as her sort of main outfit instead of just coming with the fairy costume. There's also this one of Demi wearing the same outfit that she originally had in the episode. So these were found by xcanadensis and PancakeBoss. I don't know what their source was. I was just told that they were the people who found these. So credits to them for these images. I'm going to put like a list of the credits that I know of in the description of this video. But yeah, at one point, these characters were supposed to come with 2 outfits. It would explain the $40 price that they went for a lot more would they have actually come with these outfits. But unfortunately they did not, so the costume ball line ended up just being kind of overpriced in the end. And I can't believe it only went on sale this year, and even then, it's only $27 instead of like going half off to like $20 or something. But yeah, I would have preferred these characters come with 2 outfits. Again, it would have justified the price they were sold for a lot more, but I don't really like Demi's outfit. Meanwhile, I do like Eliza's. It's very cute. I like it a lot. I don't think one of these exists for Lola. I've yet to see it, but if it does, then hopefully someday we'll get to see it. So this is a head for Violet that was found by xcanadensis. If you guys don't know, the original release of Violet was technically this purple doll from the Rainbow Girls line, back when Rainbow High was still Poopsie Slime Surprise. They released a line of kind of like larger toddler dolls that were called Rainbow Surprise, and in that line, Violet was named Amethyst and featured a darker skin tone. When she moved to Rainbow High, though, she ended up being lightened, given a paler skin tone, but this head was found on Taobao and seems to imply that at one point, Violet was going to have the same skin tone that her Poopsie Slime Surprise counterpart did. We don't know much about this head, we just know that it exists. And finally, we have some Shadow High prototypes. These are prototypes for Series 2, in which the characters feature some, but to be honest, not like too drastic of changes. For example, Glitch has a completely different face sculpt. To be honest, I like this one less than the final result, so I'm okay with that change. But then the others I'm not as okay with, because Dia used to have a super cute crown on her head. I love that. I'm very sad that we lost it on the final doll. And Carla's hair used to be so long. Not to mention, she has a better face sculpt here. I like this face sculpt much better than the one that she actually released with. We also got this prototype of Monique, which, to be honest, I don't see much of a difference between this one and her final release, but she looks pretty. I just don't see much of a change. And then we have Zoe, who has different makeup and little phone holders around her ankles. They were crazy for that. That's a crazy idea, and it should have happened on the final doll. It would have been hysterical. I'm kind of sad that it didn't. She does seem to lack the cable bows, though, so if that was the trade-off, I'm okay with it, but the little phone holders around her ankles are hilarious. We also have another prototype. I just am throwing this one in at the end because I said I would try to cover all of the ones that I could. But this seems to be a prototype for... Okay, this one's hard to explain. But basically, at one point, before the reboot, like, kind of officially happened, the Slumber Party line, that was made for the tweens. for the junior high dolls, was originally supposed to feature one more doll, and it was supposed to be a junior high version of Jewel Richie, the character with vitiligo from Series 4. So, this is Jade modeling Jewel's outfit. That's what I've heard. That's what it seems to be. The shade of green is much darker than what Jade usually wears, and is the exact shade of green that Jewel would wear. So it seems like possibly at one point they were toying with including Jade in the line over Jewel, most likely because Jewel, despite selling well, I'm guessing they just didn't want to put in the effort to print her vitiligo again. I don't know, that's all I could think. Maybe she was like more expensive to produce because of that. I'm not sure, I'm kind of just spitballing here, like, because MJ has been making a lot of budget cutting measures. They've been taking a lot of those recently. So again, that's all I could think. Maybe they just didn't want to put in the extra budget to print the vitiligo, and that's why they were thinking of including Jade in the line at one point. But it seems like the idea ended up being scrapped altogether, and neither character made it into the wave. Alright, so this video is running kind of long. I don't like to make videos longer than 15 minutes usually, so I think I'll split the rest into a part 2, but to be honest, it's nothing really substantial. I covered most of the major things in this video, but the stuff that I failed to get to is pretty simple, to be honest. It's mostly just like artwork changes, like Georgia's artwork being changed to her second outfit rather than the dress, because they decided to release her in the second outfit with the pants, which nobody liked nearly as much as the dress. As well as an artwork change for characters like Kaya, and face mold changes for like Rainbow Dream and such. Again, if you guys would like to see me cover that stuff, I will do it in a part 2, but for now, we've gotten to what I wanted to, and yeah, I don't know, I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say about all of this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, I hope you liked it, and as always, I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!